Duel Review is brought to you by NexusDigitalComics.com. On today's Duel Review, it's Mirror Mask. I'm RJ.
And I'm Nick.
Let's get to it.
Welcome to Friday the 25th of May. We are doing Mirror Mask, the movie.
That's right. 2005, Dave McKean. It was a Jim Henson production. And Neil Gaiman, of course, writer of it.
I think everything that's written nowadays has gotten Neil Gaiman's stamp on there.
McKean was also the one that did the Harry Potter
Prisoner of Azkaban, that's right.
In 2004, so he's right off the heels of that. That's mostly what he's named for. I looked at a bunch of his other stuff, and I didn't recognize it, honestly. Anyway, so this is one of those films that my wife was super excited about because she's a huge Gaiman fan. Gaiman, I'm sorry, we don't know. Somebody tell us. She was a huge fan, and so we resisted seeing it in the theaters for some reason. So as soon as it came out, we bought a copy, and we watched it through, and both of us were kind of disappointed, honestly.
Really?
Yeah, but here's the weird thing, right? So I've recently rewatched it. I've lent it out to a couple of friends because though I was disappointed for some reason, I still liked it enough to be like, hey, you probably haven't heard of this, so check it out. So finally, I'm like, okay, let's review that. And since we're doing Neverwhere, same week. So I watched it again, and I can't remember why I didn't like it. I think I kind of know, because there's this moment where it's like, if you watched our Neverwhere review, I talked about how Gaiman, he does rely on some of these more cliched devices, like, you've always had the power, and, you just weren't looking, or whatever. And it does hold true for this. There is a moment where it's like, it's been a dream, and you've had a power all along, kind of moment. I'm not going to say specifically what it is, because I don't
It's funny, the little girl in here talks just like that. It's been a dream all along.
Yeah. But with a little more 30s vibes, eh? Anyway, so there is a moment that kind of took me out of it a little bit, I guess, but rewatching it, I guess my expectations were lower, and I really thoroughly enjoyed it. There are some of the effects that are dated, but it's so stylistic that it almost doesn't matter.
Right.
But, there's a lot of three-dimensional characters, whatever, and a lot of them that have, obviously, like, green screen faces on top of them and whatever, but they're all kind of weird and off, so it kind of works. My favorite in the whole thing, I just really dig the two giants that are floating, and they're like, one is like going towards the ground, and one is like being stopped from going into the air, and they're just floating together, and they're really slow, and there's a comic moment there. So the story follows Helena, who is the daughter of a circus family. Her father's dream is to have a circus and tour around, and her mother is also an integral part of that. So we get a lot of these fun characters right off the bat. So it's rooted in the real world, but it's already kind of fun and fantastic.
Yeah.
She's very disillusioned with that life. She kind of wants a normal life. She's just, she's a teenager rebelling. There's a little more than that maybe, but so this thing happens that is a catalyst to move her into this world. She wakes up in a strange land. So you're not sure whether this is a dream or whether, this is whatever. You're not sure what happened. So you follow Helena as she meets all these odd characters in this odd world that really has different physics. There's like fish flying through the air, and apparently she doesn't realize it, but it's very much tied to some of the artwork that she does.
Right.
And that's an integral part later. But, so she has like pictures of a bunch of fish swimming down the streets, and so this is the three-dimensional manifestation of that kind of thing. But she operates in this world as if it's real. She's not aware that it's a dream, even though it's really wacky. But sometimes in dreams we do that.
Yeah.
Like I can remember being like, oh, this seems perfectly normal, and then I wake up and it's like, hey, that was really weird.
Yeah.
Anyway, so she meets circus folk, kind of. They're whatever, they're traveling, whatever. And she kind of sees them as, are you, this person that I know from the circus just wearing a mask, or what's going on? And she slowly finds out that these people have no idea who she is. They are not the people that she thinks they are. There is a black. See, again, like when I talk about stuff, some of it's kind of stereotypical. It seems stereotypical, but it just doesn't feel that way when it's happening. There's like this black. It's kind of like Never Ending Story, where the blackness is like
eating away.
Yeah, it like touches a person and then turns them into dust. Whatever.
What was the name that he gave it? Like his mother's name, right? He named the thing that was destroying them his mother's name. No, he named the princess. That's right, the queen.
Yeah,
Never-ending Story.
It's a different.
Yeah, I forgot.
Anyway, so she runs into Valentine, who is the other main character along the way, and he is a bemasked man. He's got a mask for a face, and he's like, "Where's your face?" or whatever. It's like, I have a real face, whatever. Like, it's like, how do you tell emotion without a mask? Kind of like, it's this interesting thing.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of fun. But anyway, so he's a very caricature. He's got a weird like mark down his face and like weird lumpy masky things, and anyway, they become friends a little bit more out of necessity at first, and they go to this what are you doing?
I'm magically keeping it upright.
And we continue along in the storyline. She's trying to find out where she is, first of all, and then how to get out of it.
Right.
I can't really give too much more
Yeah.
away than that. It's all about discovery. Again, it does remind me a lot of Neverending Story, honestly. And there's moments of betrayal, and then there's some fun like Lion Witch in the Wardrobe, like costuming maybe. I don't know. The queen, the Shadow Queen reminds me of the White Witch. Anyway, even though she's black, but still the weird costumes and stuff. And so aesthetically, it's really pleasing. There's these little what are they called? The griffins. Like these little cats, and you like have to feed them books to distract them.
Yeah,
I think they're griffins.
yeah, I think so. They're funny.
But they have human faces, so that's kind of creepy, and they talk, and so you're left not quite sure how this world functions. So when you run across something new, it's like, okay, what's going to happen here? How's that going to work? When she looks out windows, she sees other things than Valentine sees, and so there's just layer upon layer, and it's a really fun little story. Barring that point that originally took me out of it, the one that it's like, oh, it's been there, it's been in you all along, kind of thing, like that moment that's very kind of cliche.
Right.
Barring that, and it's such a small moment that I don't know why I had such a problem with it in the beginning, but barring that, it's a really elegant story, and I was pretty pleased with the ending. And
yeah.
It's a happy ending. There's a lot of his are kind of wrapped up, but that's very, Americans, we apparently like that. Mass Effect 3. So I highly recommend it. You said you read the book.
Yeah. Now you got me wondering because I know I read
stories.
it. But is it a short story or is it a book?
I think so. Anyway,
I know I read it. I just can't remember if I read it in like one of his collection of short stories, like maybe Fragile Things or what was the other one? I don't remember.
But I think that this is
Smoke and Mirrors.
This is one of those situations where the movie is almost as good. I mean, it obviously rushes. All movies have to rush some parts.
Because there's a lot of content.
But it was so fun, and yeah, I mean, it's just slightly dated, but it's so aesthetically odd
that it fits.
That it really kind of fits. But I mean, like the monkey birds are a little bit weird, but they're still kind of fun. It's like Bob, and Malcolm. That's fun.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, there's a lot of quirky fun, and I think the acting is really well. The guy who plays Valentine does a phenomenal job.
Yes.
It's very stage play.
Yeah.
In his delivery, but it works so well. It's so fun.
Actually, now that you said that, I totally see like all of the backgrounds like as if they were stage play props.
Yeah.
So that totally works. Yeah.
Absolutely. And the little girl, she's great.
Yeah.
I don't know if she's gone on to do other, but she really did well. The whole cast, actually.
Yeah.
The mother, the father. There's this like mime guy at the beginning. This is a lot of fun. And anyway, so strongly recommend.
Yes.
Go check it out.
I suggest you check out all of Gaiman's work. I think it's really good.
Yeah, and I think you could probably find this really inexpensive nowadays.
Yeah, I don't think too many people really... I don't think it got the following that it deserved.
Yeah, I agree. I remember the ad campaign, they did do a little bit of advertising for it, but I just don't think people were aware of it, or prepared for it, maybe.
Do we? Yeah, I think we did say that it was Jim Henson's production company.
Yes, and... you can definitely see his work in there a little bit as well. Or their work.
Their work, yeah, because he's kind of dead.
Already gone, yeah. All right, guys, on that cheerful note, follow us on Facebook, subscribe on YouTube, tell us what you think.
Check us out on, check out our wares and whatnots at SpiderWolf.com. We've got t-shirts.
Card game, short stories, art prints. We're going to have some
Kickstarter stuff.
projects.
But also check out NexusDigitalComics.com because come June 1st, we're going to be relaunching the site with a whole lot more content.
Yeah. And recommend any more Neil Gaiman or Gaiman that you might want to have us check out, or we should check out. Although I'm sure he's already checked it out, but still.
Yeah, we should probably do Stardust, because that movie was really good and the book was really good too.
I was a little... Yeah, it was good. All right, see ya. Yay! Woot, woot. Woot. Sorry, I just went back to the mid-90s.
Yeah, you did. You're like, I'm going back.
Does anybody even know that anymore?
Arsenio.
He was great in Coming to America. And then he never had another role ever. Actually, he wasn't that bad. Next week, we start off with The Pride of Baghdad. Dave McKean, who has also done... Gotta start doing that more.
Azkaban.
Azkaban?
Right. I don't even like Harry Potter, and I know that.
Well, why don't you put that in there?
Prisoner of Azkaban.
So I don't get yelled at. Yeah.
Who also directed Prisoner of Azkaban.
Or you can be like, isn't he the one that did...
Oh, isn't he the one who did Prisoner of Azkaban? That's a good way of doing it. Oh, didn't he...
Dave McKean.
Didn't he also do Prisoner of Azkaban, which I didn't watch because I'm not a huge Harry Potter fan?
I think I watched that one.
Actually, I think I watched that one too. That was the one with werewolves, right?
Okay, I didn't watch that one. I don't know what you're talking about.
Isn't it?
We're a huge Harry Potter fan.
I waited till 2 a.m. for every single book for my sisters.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, you're an idiot.
What? My sisters.
Sweet idiot.
I would bring him over. I would like, knock on my sister's window. Let me in, because I was not living in the house at the time.
And your sisters are like sleeping.
Yeah, and they're sleeping, and I knocked on the door. I was like, I got the book for you. He's like, I love you. I was like, shh, Mom and Dad are sleeping. They're not supposed to know I'm here. There's a restraining order. I can't be here. Did you really file a restraining order against Nick? The bastard touched my drumstick. What? That's my chicken.
Sense to me,
That's my chicken.
Neil Gaiman. He just changed his middle name.
Gaiman.
So I can do Gaiman or Gaiman and be right.
Excuse me, Mr. Gaiman or Gaiman, please email us to let us know how it's...
I'd just be like, hey, it's you. Can you say your name?
Yeah. That's what I should do. Like, if I ever see him at
Of course, Neil Gaiman.
Neil Gaiman.
Hey, Neil.
Yeah. Hey, Neil. How do you say your last name?
On today's Duel review, it's Mirror Mask. I'm RJ.
And I'm Nick.
Let's get to it.
Ka-chow!
Oh, it's my hand.
But I'm simulating a mask.
Pretending. It's a mirror mask, you don't see it.
Well, it'd be reflective if it was a mirror mask.
Gotta...
Okay.